It was absolute pandemonium last time out in the Turkey Hill Truck Series at Daytona. A massive wreck early in the race, taking out nearly half of the field. Well, we come to a completely different racetrack, and we've already had a great weekend of racing here, as it is finale weekend for the Wawa Cup Series, leading up to tomorrow's Mello Yello Southern 500, the finale of the Wawa Cup Series in 2024. This is only the second race of the season just the beginning for these Truck Series drivers, as we are here for 37 laps, and the Mello Yello Zero Sugar 200. Let's see how it all goes down here from the Darlington Raceway in the 2024 Turkey Hill Truck Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Darlington Raceway here on a Saturday morning, late morning, as we got some college football coming up later on, so we wanted to avoid the competition with that, get this thing out of the way, and of course lead into tomorrow's Mello Yello Southern 500 with the finale of the Wawa Cup Series just around the corner. Blaine Keys and Ladovich going after that championship tomorrow, and they're going to be going after it here today as well. However, qualifying was a little interesting. Logan Williams winning the pole, even with Ladovich in that Fast 6. And he's going to lead us to the green flag after he won the Southern 500 a year ago. Turn alongside Chase Harris for the call of tonight's race, or today's race, I should say. And Chase, great to have you back. First, it's been a while since I've had you in the booth, but we're looking at this race tomorrow between Blaine Keys and Ladovich, and they're both in this one here today. What are they going to look for here today in these trucks to take into tomorrow's race, and especially Ladovich, because she's 13 points behind Blaine going into that finale tomorrow. How do you see it playing out between the two teammates here today who are not teammates tomorrow?
I think the big test today is testing out how the track's going to drive, and you know, with it being cloudy and hot, it's going to be a little bit difficult to be able to make a pass. And so I think they're really going to test to see how much they can get out of their trucks without getting too much. And yeah, that'll play into the Cup race for sure tomorrow. But today they're teammates. I think they're focused on that. But tomorrow they will be a big competitor. So it's going to be interesting to see how today's race plays out, and certainly the 500.
Of course, tomorrow's race, 92 laps. This one is only 37 laps. A sprint race for these guys here in the Truck Series. However, unlike yesterday's Sprint Series race, we do have a cycle of pit stops in this one. Only about a 20-lap fuel run for these guys. And tire wear here is very significant as well. So the tires are going to fall off quicker than they did yesterday. And they're going to have to come down for a cycle of pit stops midway through as well. It's going to be very fascinating to see how that ends up shaking out for these guys. Even though this is the third straight race this week that is 37 laps here at Darlington, it's going to be completely different from what we've seen throughout the rest of the weekend. But we'll have to see how it all ends up shaking out. Here's how they line up in the points. Not that it matters too much at this point. A wild race at Daytona, like we mentioned. Zachary Fitzwater getting the race victory. 6 points ahead of Skylar Taylor. Philip Torres, your driver there, Chase, finishing third in that one. Actually, very solid run for that organization. And 7 points behind. Skep Silver, only his second career start here today, is 7 points behind as well. And Thomas Troxel, 9 points behind. Troxel is a good starting position here today at Darlington. But they'll all be led by Logan Williams in number 72, alongside Eric Monaco. Once again, a front row start for Monaco. Won the pole last week at Daytona and had another strong run in the Fast 6. Got into the Fast 6, for one thing, and had a strong run again. Let's see what he does from the outside pole. Jack Haas was really quick in his group qualifying. He was actually the fastest in the groups. He's going to be starting third alongside Agar Barreto. We get Aaron Abel there in the 25, starting alongside Ladovich Charette in the 2, who was slowest in the Fast 6, ironically. Thomas Troxel in the 93 to the inside of Blaine Keys in row 4. And then Andrew Miller and Caleb Rose there starting in the top 10. It's going to be fascinating to see how all these drivers end up doing as we go through the field to kind of get an idea of where everyone's going to start. And ironically enough, the driver who won last week, Zachary Fitzwater, starts 35th here today at Darlington. Not exactly where he wanted to start after that strong start he had in the opener at Daytona. Let's go ahead and get these drivers to roll off here in the Mello Yello Zero Sugar 200 at Darlington. And these drivers are going to roll off here for 37 laps. 20-lap fuel run, roughly around that point. And we definitely have some strong drivers up front, including some Grattan Autosport affiliated trucks. We'll try not to talk too much about that since, they're not in the booth today. But Chase, I got to ask you, who's going to victory lane here in this Mello Yello Zero Sugar 200? A short race for these guys. Some strong drivers up front here in this great racetrack here in South Carolina.
Well, it's still very early before, so ratings I don't think are going to necessarily matter a whole lot entering today. But I think, with it being cloudy, it's going to be tougher to pass. So I think the 6, Jack Haas, I think, is going to be the one going to victory lane. I think that's going to be a team that's going to be fast all year. But I think they're going to start showing their speed early here today. I think they'll get the win. I think being up front today is going to be a big, big role, again, with how cloudy it is and how slick the racetrack is.
And, of course, like I mentioned, Jack Haas was the quickest in the groups. Didn't get the fastest time in the Fast 6, but in the 2 groups, which everything was run under the same weather conditions yesterday, that's a pretty good sign that number 6 machine is very quick. And he kept on getting faster in his session as well to get to that point. But it's Logan Williams who won the Southern 500 last year, leading us to the green flag here in this Mello Yello Zero Sugar 200. He is absolutely going to be a hard driver to beat as well after winning that Southern 500 a year ago. He knows how to get it done on this racetrack. We'll have to see how it all goes down. All I know is that inside lane is going to get the jump on the start right here. That outside lane is not where you want to be, so look for those guys on the inside to get the jump here at the Darlington Raceway. It's the second race of the season in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. We're underway in the Mello Yello Zero Sugar 200. Well, Ladovic Charette back in there wasted no time getting to the inside. Right when I was saying that outside lane, they're not going to get any boost right there. Well, Ladovic heard me, and she went right to the inside there to slot in the 5th. Watch out for her as this race goes on. You know she's trying to get everything she can on Blinkies. A couple guys in the outside wall. We're going to see that here. That's that Darlington stripe. Caleb Rose, Justin Zidell getting into it there in the corner. But out front, it's still Logan Williams in the 72 holding on to the race lead ahead of Jack Haas, Eric Monaco, Aaron Abel, Ladovic Charette. In the Elimination Series race on Thursday, we had very similar weather conditions, and we didn't see much passing up front. However, Jack Haas looking to try to get around that 72, take this race lead away from Logan Williams, and take control of this race early on.
Yeah, I think Jack Haas is a lot faster right now than Logan Williams. It's just a matter of finding a way around that 72 Ram. And, right now I think, you don't have to be too aggressive, just kind of settle in. But if you get the look, take it. But right now, Jack Haas just kind of following the 72, seeing which lane works best, which lane doesn't. And everyone so far pretty single file, pretty calm.
And once you know it, our 2 championship contenders for tomorrow are both top 10 as Stapleton just slammed the outside wall right there.
That was more than a stripe.
Yeah, that's going to definitely hurt the aero on that machine, and we saw that come into play in the Elimination Series race as well when Andrew Williams got taken out of that championship battle because of a similar mistake. But as I was about to say, both Blaine Keys and Ladovic Charette in the top 10. I'm sure Matt Tuck is loving this as the owner of this team, and he's loving this as well. Ladovic Charette to the inside of Aaron Abel. That right there for 4th, and Abel going to slap the outside wall. We see a lot of that slap in there, but we don't see a lot of yellows here sometimes. This race has gone caution-free before. We only had 1 wreck in this race last year, 1 caution in this race a year ago. Going to be fascinating to see if one does occur here today, but you can tell these guys just all single filed out right now. A narrow groove out here at the Darlington Raceway. And, speaking of Andrew Williams, not a good run for him in this one so far. And same with Nicholas Sambidio, had a very tough run in qualifying, and he has not rebounded from it. Our last winner of Zachary Fitzwater trying to rebound. He's actually moved his way through the field fairly well on that 82 machine, all things considered, up to 25th after starting 35th. But all over the place still. And like you said, Chase, the ratings are still early on. Of course, we had that range that everyone chose at the beginning of the season. As for the race lead, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Jack Haas is taking it away from Logan Williams, and Logan now slipping back as he's stuck in that outside lane.
Yeah, this is bad news right here for Logan Williams. You're going to have to find a way down, preferably behind this 51 truck, and you better take it quick because that, can't tell who that green truck is back there, but they're going to be jumping on it. And so Logan Williams going to really have to be aggressive here and get into that bottom lane. It slaps the wall. That's not the way to do it.
Not at all. And Logan really struggling after losing the race lead. He's all the way down to 8th right there. That is just how bad that outside lane is. And look at Corey Case. Actually, Corey Case has a tire down, I think. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think he just had a very bad entry. That's how slow it is up there if you get out of the groove in turns 1 and 2. And Corey Case just got out of it enough to make it seem like he blew a tire. That was not the case. As we saw yesterday, Leonard Koshmer was right there in the 39, just overshoot it in turn 3 in the Sprint Series race. He's up to 14th right now. Got Bruno Diacomo right behind him. Hey, we're closing in halfway through this fuel run right here. These tires are starting to really wear out. Such a different race than what we're going to see tomorrow, because the fuel run tomorrow is about the length of this race. How about Thomas Troxel here? Up to what is now... Again, we missed the race lead, so you're going to see 2 side-by-sides right there. Eric Monaco is taking it away from Jack Haas. And how about the Velocistar guys? Ludovic Shred and Blaine Keys, both top 5 right now. I know Troxel's seeing that. He wants to get around Monaco and drive away from these Grattan Autosport-affiliated machines behind him. And he's got a nose to the inside. We're going to get this pass for the race lead. Troxel up front here on lap 10.
Well, we finally saw a pass for the lead. Thomas Troxel takes the lead, and you said those Velocistar trucks are flying right now. They're ripping through the field, and they're both up inside the top 4 now. That 2 and the 1 right now almost look like they're working together, which is going to be a little interesting come tomorrow.
No doubt about it. You know, they're not going to be working together tomorrow. Obviously, they drive for different teams, different organizations. Of course, Charette's still with Grattan Autosport, but... how about this one machine of Blaine Keys driving for Aaron Abel there in the Wah Cup Series. I'm sure Aaron would love to get a championship. Of course, it's not been a good run for him as a driver in this race. He's hit that outside wall very hard here today. But we really can't step away from the race lead without something happening. But we've got Troxel, who has won a race here before at Darlington. He has won in a lot of different places. I'm sure he'd love to get his 21st career win on the channel here tonight. Or here today, I should say. We're still morning. Hey, right now it's 10:09 when Chase and I are recording this race at night, so, you know, that's why I sometimes say tonight instead of today with some of these races. You know, it's just the way it goes, but you got Jack Haas, Ludovic Charette, and Blaine Keys, who we all figured were going to be fast. As a matter of fact, all 4 of these guys we figured were going to be fast this season. Hamill's going to get shuffled out of line. There goes LJ Semedo and Lord Chung around him. They got our brother running top 10. Leonard Koshmer trying to rebound after what happened yesterday, up into the 11th position. And even though we've seen all these guys slap the outside wall and whatnot, no caution yet in this one here at Darlington. Everybody's still on the lead lap. We still got that cycle of pit stops left to go. Not a good race for Brian Webb in the back or Justin Zidell in the 88 machine. Looks like they've hit the wall quite a bit throughout the day. And not a good run for your guy, Joe Rakowski. Tough way to start this season for your team there. Fitzwater right behind your other driver there, Philip Torres. Fitzwater's moved himself into the top 20. Not a bad run there. Those Heritage trucks are pretty quick. Laura Chung running top 10 right now in the 8th position. And everyone's single file behind Troxel as these tires are really starting to get worn out here at the Darlington Raceway.
Yeah, these tires are getting absolutely cooked. You can even notice Troxel, the leader, who has clean air sliding up. That's how worn out these tires are. We're on lap 15. You said the fuel run is lap 20. We're only about 5 laps or so away from these guys coming down pit road. And that'll bring the question, you know, who tries to short pit, who tries a long pit. Even though ratings are still early, strategy is still very much a factor, and some teams are really going to be trying to see what they can get away with and what they can't. But right now it's Troxel who's controlling, and I think the pace has definitely kind of settled down. It's a 4-truck breakaway for the lead.
I got to give a lot of credit to this team, as we got maybe a pass per second. Well, no, we don't. This team right here of TP Motorsports and Eric Monaco, I mean, this was a driver combination that I thought they were not going to do anything at the start of this season. Based on what they did last year, and look at what they have done so far. Monaco finished 14th last week at Daytona after starting on the pole. Not too bad, all things considered. And here he is running with the big dogs inside this top 10. LJ Semedo just got around him there in the Dracoan truck. Great to see LJ have a great run here in this one. Looking for his 2nd career win on the channel. His only win on the channel is the Daytona 500 from earlier this season, so not a bad race to have as your only career win on the channel, but I know he'd love to get another one here today. Derek Hamill, who won the opener last year, looking for his 2nd truck win. He got around the 28 of Eric Monaco, and Laura Chung looking quick there for Heritage Motorsports with Leonard Koshmer now inside the top 10. Corey Case, Barretto, Stapleton, Had a battle between Turner. Andrew Miller was up there earlier. He has been slipping back in the 69. There's your pole sitter of Logan Williams, who fell all the way back to 15th. He's trying to rebound, and he'll get around Andrew Miller right there. And that outside lane is even worse when the tires are worn out. You can just see there's no grip up there whatsoever. You do not want to get stuck up there, and it's so interesting and so fascinating to see how it ends up shaking out as the race goes along for these guys with that outside lane. All four of these guys are still on each other, and it's going to be a battle in the pit lane between these top four. I have a good feeling the race winner is going to be one of these top four. They got 2 seconds on the field right now here at Darlington.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be the top four, and I think that's what's going to make, watching them come to pit road so exciting. They're all so close to each other within half a second, and so it's going to make this pit stop a little interesting. Might also make it a little bit dicey as well when they're all trying to pull in out of their pit stalls, so definitely something to keep an eye on. But right now it's Troxel who kind of is maintaining a pretty good gap as you're looking throughout the field there, and yeah, Troxel's actually pulling away a little bit here. So maybe Thomas Troxel on these worn tires, I think, really kind of liking how it's driving right now.
We were originally going to have Echo in the booth for this race, and Chase was going to be in the Cup race tomorrow. But we switched it around because of Chase's schedule. But hey, maybe Echo will get a little bit of surprise on Saturday morning, seeing her driver win. But they got to get through the cycle of pit stops here. A lot of these guys coming down right now. We'll see a couple guys long overcut right here, and that actually worked one year in the Wawa Cup Series 400-mile race here with Seth Cole. If you remember that race from last season, he overcut, the race went caution-free, and he had the advantage at the end of the run. And we're going to have a long run to finish this thing out, as well as Thomas Troxel leads us to the pit stops here at Darlington, with all of these drivers right behind him, Charette, Keys, and Jack Haas. Of course, for those 4 drivers, they don't really have too much damage, so they're not going to have to stay on pit lane for an extended period of time to repair it. You will expect guys like Logan Williams and Igor Barreto to stay on the pit lane a little bit longer. Troxel's done with his stop. Great stop out of the Evans-Ross guys. When Troxel's going to beat Jack Haas right here as well, and Troxel's in control of this race now. He has got the advantage off the pit lane. Ludovic Charette, LJ Semedo going to jump Blaine Keys right there, and man, I think he wished he did that on last Friday at Daytona when he was just inches behind Blaine Keys for that race win. Almost got it done in that Valvoline 400 ahead of our championship leader, just couldn't quite pull it off. And Troxel, my man, he's out of here at the Darlington Raceway, and he is going to surpass everyone who stayed out as well and become your new race leader. I think some of these guys are at the tail end of the field. Guys like Logan Williams, who started on the pole for this race, about to go a lap down here at Darlington. Avery Alford, Caleb Rose also going to go a lap down as well. And Thomas Troxel is out of here in this Mello Yello Zero Sugar 200.
I'll tell you who was the big loser on that pit cycle was Jack Haas. Fell all the way back to 5th, was initially 2nd entering pit road. So bad stop there for the 6 team. See if he can maybe rebound and get up back to at least that 2nd position. But right now, Troxel, you said it, he is gone. That 93 was really fast at the end of the run, and now he's going to be really fast at the beginning of the run. I'm not sure anybody's going to catch him without a caution.
Of course, we had a late race caution last year in this race, and that's what gave way to Casey Nanico getting the race victory in this one. Not a good day for Caleb Rose. How about Leonard Kochmer, though? Really rebounded from. And how about Evans-Ross Racing as a whole? Guess what? It's Evans-Ross Racing, and it's Team Velocity in the top 4 positions here at Darlington. But right now, and Blaine massively into the outside wall. As Kochmer goes ahead and takes 3rd away from the driver of the number 1. Jack Haas is 6th, or should I say he's 5th. Laura Chung is 6th. Then it's LJ Semedo. Aaron Abel is lapped down. Derek Hamill is 8th. Zachary Fitzwater, top 10 after starting 35th in this race. What a run for him. And Bryce Egan. Dracona Racing Enterprises, they're very strong here today. Hairgel is very strong here today. Of course, Velocistar, Evans-Ross Racing, they're all really strong here in this race here today. Triad is not very strong. Both of their drivers are lapped down right now with Stapleton and Williams. And some guys quite haven't figured it out yet, but Thomas Troxel, 12 laps to go. Ludovic Charette is second, trying to lap these cars and have a clean racetrack in between her and Troxel for this race win here at the Darlington Raceway. Caution's a little ways behind. It's going to take a caution to be able to catch up to anybody for the driver, the number 39.
I'm telling you, I think Blaine Keys has some big problems going on in that one truck. He has smacked the wall multiple times in the last few laps. It would not surprise me if that one truck potentially cuts a tire down, because he's hit that wall hard, as I said, multiple times. That you can see the side of that truck is absolutely caved in right now. This is bad news if you're Blaine Keys. He's just got to try to survive to the end of the race.
It's very fascinating the way the team orders is running in this top 10. Because if you really think about it, Parker Davis and Grand Autosport, they have that affiliation. So you got all those guys. Then you got the Hairgel trucks, the Dracoan trucks, and the Evans Ross trucks. All in the top 10 right now. And you got Ludovic Charette closing in mightily on this 93 of Thomas Troxel. This race is far from over. And you got the two Triad trucks who are a lap down, which is a shame. You know, Triad won the race last night in the Sprint Series with Anthony McClure, and now, not at all what we expected out of them here in this race. Of course, Logan Williams had a bunch of damage to repair, and just keeping your truck clean is such an important part of this race, and it's going to be an important part of tomorrow's race as well. And here she comes, Ludovic Charette trying to pick up right where she left off. Of course, she finished dead last at Daytona last week after getting wrecked out, flipping down the backstretch. She's looking to get only her second win in the Truck Series, but looking to close in and defend her Turkey Hill Truck Series title. Lost a little bit of ground right there in the Battle of Stapleton, but now Logan Williams is her best friend, because if Williams gets around Troxel right here, it's going to be a fight to the finish between Troxel and Charette, but it's going to be 7 laps to go next time by for Thomas Troxel and Evans Ross Racing here at the Darlington Raceway.
Yeah, right now, Thomas Troxel, I think, just needs to kind of maintain a pace fast enough to keep 72 right behind him, but, you know, don't allow him to get to the inside. If you can keep him right behind him, you can almost use him as a pick and, you know, really mess up the 2 truck. But, man, that 2 is so fast right now, and Troxel's really tight, especially in turn 2. This is going to be really interesting coming to the end here, because I think Logan Williams is going to play a big factor in who wins this race.
We'll have to see. Of course, Logan Williams stole that Southern 500 from Thomas Troxel last year. Will he steal another win from Troxel? He's got a good run coming off of turn 4 right here. Will he try to get his lap back and peek down to the inside? That's actually a big deal for Logan. If a caution does come out, there's still enough time to get that lap back. And, ooh, it got close right there. Not close enough, but regardless of the fact, Charette has a faster truck. And Ludovic Charette closing in on our race leader here. Leonard Koshmer only 2 seconds behind. And it's Laura Chung, Jack Haas, Blaine Keys, LJ Semedo, Derek Campbell, Zachary Fitzwater, and Bryce Egan. That is the top 10. Great runs for Jesse Turner and Rogel Dorn, Skep Silver, Philip Torres, and then Skylar Taylor rounding out the top 15 here at the Darlington Raceway. Troxel. Oh boy, he's getting nervous now. We're going to have a tight one here for this finish at Darlington, because I don't think it matters if Williams gets around Troxel. Charette might just get around Williams, and then we got ourselves a real race on our hands here at Darlington.
And how aggressive does Troxel play this? I mean, you're going to have to block, but I don't know if Troxel right now has the truck to block. That truck really came on at the end of the run, and, you know, we're still about midway through a normal run at this point, so I think Ludovic Charette's got the advantage, but, you know, catching him's one thing, passing him's another.
4 laps to go, 3.5 to be exact here at the Darlington Raceway for Thomas Troxel. Point of no return as well coming up for these guys next time by. So it looks like we are going to have we may not necessarily have a caution-free race, but this is it. We're not going to get a restart in this one, and Troxel knows that. That's good for Troxel, I feel like. But is it good for Charette? Will she have an opportunity to get around Williams? The tire's starting to wear out again, and it's going to be a lot harder to make this move. But Logan Williams, if he gets around Troxel, tries to get his lap back, that opens the door wide open for Ludovic Charette to win this race. It's a cat and mouse game right now. But Troxel got a good run there off the exit of the corner. 2 laps to go for Thomas Troxel here at Darlington in the Mello Yello Zero Sugar 200. Will Ludovic get around Logan right here? Looks like she will. Ooh. She's got a nose to the inside, and now it's on. Will she be able to close in on Troxel with 1.5 laps left to go here at the Darlington Raceway?
Ladovic Charette had enough to knock Logan Williams out of the way, but by doing that, lost time on Thomas Troxel. It's going to have to be a big final lap if you're going to catch the 93.
Oh, Troxel overshot the corner. Just like Leonard Kosmer did yesterday. White flag in the air. And this is the moment. Will Charette be able to have enough speed going in the 1 and 2 to close in and have a shot through 3 and 4? She's got one shot to do this here at Darlington, and she's going to be right there down the backstretch for this race win. Will she peek down to the inside on Troxel? She's got to do it now if she's going to have any chance.
Nope.
And I think she just waited a little too long to be able to make that move. Thomas Troxel and Evans Ross Racing. It's Troxel's second ever win in the Truck Series. He gets it done at Darlington in the Mello Yello Zero Sugar 200.
Ladovic Charette was just too late on making that move on Logan Williams. And I think, honestly, if she peeked out on the backstretch, probably would have had a chance to win it because Troxel was still tight. But in the end, we'll never know. Thomas Troxel gets it done.
Great job out of Evans Ross Racing here today. First and third. Leonard Kosmer with a top 3 run. That's a great rebound after what he did yesterday. How about Laura Chung? And this is a team and driver to watch out for this year because Laura Chung, remember, she won 4 races in this series 2 years ago. Has not won on the channel since, but after what we saw at Harrisville Motorsports in this race, they got a good team. Double top 10 for those guys. Jack Haas, Blaine Keys finishes 6th. Now, if this was tomorrow, Blaine Keys would still be the champion in the Wall Cup Series. Like I said, a 13-point gap going into tomorrow's race. Then it was Derek Hamill. 05 of LJ Semedo, Zachary Fitzwater, and Rogel Dorn rounds out the top 10 here at the Darlington Raceway. Nice clean race. Well, it depends on how you look at it. We had some moments out there. Not a good day for Triad Racing. We expected a lot more out of those guys, and not a good day for Broke Boys Garage either. All their drivers 30th or worse in this one. Nathan Stapleton and Logan Williams had extensive damage from slapping that outside wall. But how about that? This could be a battle in the championship between these guys. And like I said, the range in the ratings at the beginning of the season really played out here today. This is exactly what we expected earlier on. Troxel, Charette, Kochmer, Chung, Haas, Keys, Hamill, Semedo, Fitzwater. They're all going to be drivers, I feel like, as the season goes along, who are going to be good and who are going to contend for this title as the season goes along. I don't know. How do you make all of it? Very fascinating race here at Darlington. How do you think the rest of the season is going to go? 16 races left. We head to Atlanta next weekend. But how do you see tomorrow's race playing out as well?
Well, it's going to be interesting. I think you're going to see a lot of what you saw today. There's going to be cars that are going to overdrive, smack the wall, and that's going to play a very big role, whether you're lapping somebody or whether it's you hitting the wall. It could really, really, ruin your day or make your day. So it's going to be really interesting. But today's race, you kind of called it in the pre-race, and the fact that it would be a little bit more difficult to make a pass, and it certainly was, and we saw that there right at the end for the win. So, yeah, solid race. Congrats to Thomas Troxel. That's obviously a great day for, both the 93 and the 39 teams. So that's going to be a factor all year, I have a feeling. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything else more to add.
Well, hey, we're going to have a lot to add tomorrow when we have the Wawa Cup Series finale. We've been building up to this all week long, and we're almost there. We're about 24 hours away from green flag at Darlington Raceway in the Mello Yello Southern 500 tomorrow, noon Eastern Time, right here on AG the channel. Will it be Blaine Keys or will it be Ladovic Charette winning this Wawa Cup Series championship in 2024? 13-point gap between the two of them. You get a bonus point for leading a lap. You get another bonus point for leading the most laps. The maximum amount of points you can get in a race is 46. So 45-point gap there between first and last. But every other point is worth one position. And it's going to be very interesting to see how it ends up shaking out once we take the green flag tomorrow. 92 laps. We've been seeing all these 37-lap races this week. 92 laps tomorrow. We're going to be here for a while, but it's going to be worth it. A crown jewel win at stake and a championship at stake as well. It's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow at noon Eastern Time right here on AG the channel. Congratulations, though, to Thomas Troxel. This race victory here at the Darlington Raceway. A great win for that Evans Ross Racing team, and it's going to be a fight, I think, between those guys and the Groton guys, Lost Star guys this season. I genuinely think the Harrisville Motorsport Camp is also going to be fast this year as well, especially with Laura Chung, so watch out for those guys. And what Fitzwater did in this race was very impressive. Started 35th, moved his way through the field to 9th. That's a sign of a good truck. And Hairshield's got a good program there. We're going to have to see what they do. I'm looking at them. They're going to be pretty solid this year. Thank you so much for watching here from the Darlington Raceway. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the Mello Yello Southern 500 in the Wah Cup Series, the finale of the 2024 season. And we'll see you guys next week from the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Celsius Peach 5200. We'll have to see who's vibing in that race. It'll be the Celsius truck. There's a good chance it will be. We'll have to see how it all goes down. Thank you so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Thomas Troxel. And on behalf of Chase Harris, here are the points for the Turkey Hill Truck Series after 2 races. And I will see you guys later.